When the news spread through Hollywood that William Frawley had died, few people were surprised by Vivian Vance's reaction. Yet it still became one of the most talked about behind-the-scenes stories in classic television history. Vance and Frawley had spent years side by side as the bickering Fred and Ethel Mertz on I Love Lucy, one of the most beloved sitcoms of all time. On screen, their squabbles were the heart of the show's humor. Off-screen, the tension was real, raw, and often exhausting. The chemistry that millions adored was born from a kind of mutual dislike that only deepened with every season. Frawley, a hard-drinking veteran of vaudeville, resented Vance for being younger and more glamorous than he thought a nagging TV wife should be, while Vance privately bristled at his rough manners and cutting remarks. Their exchanges on set were professional, but their eyes told a different story, irritation thinly disguised as comic timing. So when Frawley's death was announced in 1966, Vivian Vance happened to be out dining with friends. The tale goes that she paused, raised her eyebrows, and told the waiter, "Champagne for everyone." The laughter that followed wasn't cruel so much as cathartic, a release of years of pent-up emotion. That one spontaneous toast became legend, a symbolic end to one of Hollywood's most notorious feuds. To many who knew her, it wasn't about celebrating a man's death, but acknowledging the strange relief of knowing she would never again have to share a set, a line, or a spotlight with the man who made her working life so difficult. Their relationship had been volatile from the beginning. Frawley refused to take direction from women and often mocked Vance behind her back, calling her names that made crew members uncomfortable. She, in turn, dreaded filming scenes that required physical closeness with him, famously complaining that she had to pretend to love a man old enough to be my grandfather. The animosity was so intense that when the spin-off Fred and Ethel was proposed, Vance refused, flatly telling producers she wouldn't spend another day pretending to be married to Frawley. By the time I Love Lucy ended, both actors had carved their place in television history, but they remained forever linked. A comedy team that despised each other in private yet created magic on camera. So when that moment in the restaurant came, Vance's toast was less about spite and more about closure. After years of silent battles, cutting remarks and forced smiles, she was finally free. The champagne bubbles symbolized the end of an era, a farewell to the man who had defined, frustrated, and in many ways immortalized her career. To outsiders, it sounded heartless. To those who knew the truth, it was the only kind of peace she would ever get from Fred Mertz.